My name is Lara. I'm an actress and I'm the ambassador of The Way to Happiness for Colombia. The Way to Happiness is a non-religious moral code for everybody. It helps everybody. Corruption, taking drugs, gangs, happens because of a lack of moral values. That's what we handle with The Way to Happiness. Colombia in the 80s, we had like 5 cartels in the country, 6 different guerrilla groups, M19, AUC, EPL, everybody fighting with everybody, the community in the middle. We are entering here to one of the most dangerous areas in Bogota. You can see it's very, very poor people. They don't have the minimum things to survive. They teach to the girls, you have to grow up and be the wife of the mafia guy, because they don't have even enough food to eat. It's a chain that you cannot cut. So start to change the culture. You start to rehabilitate confidence in their dreams. Everybody wants to be happy. What is the question? How to do it? How to be happy? My dad was of the Navy. My mom was a housewife. I remember very much my dad coming into our neighborhood. And when he heard the national anthem, he just stopped the car and stand up with his uniform, very white uniform. Growing up with those concepts of honor and duty gave me so much love for my country. I was very proud to be from Colombia. And at the same time, I remember being like 5 years old, watching the TV news and how bad all these other countries talk about Colombia. And I remember crying. In that moment, I said, Colombia will give a lesson to the world. But when the years pass, in some way you forget your purpose. So I graduated from high school, so I had to choose a career. So I decided to study industrial engineering. And in 4th year in the university, they proposed me to go to the beauty pageant of the country. For us in Colombia, it's very, very important, the beauty pageant. It's like soccer game.
Y este año la ganadora del primer lugar es Lara.
After the beauty pageant, I had to do my thesis, but at the same time, I had my first role in the first TV series. So I had to do both at the same time. At that point, my dream that Colombia will give a lesson to the world was a little bit forgotten. So I said, okay, I can be an actress. Then I moved to Bogota, that is the capital of the country. One TV series takes me to another one, and another one. Come this point in my life, I can say that I was pretty successful, but I was like, what for? Inside, I was really sad. Then I did a TV series, soap opera, named The Ex. And I met Rudy Rodriguez in that TV series. She was very famous. I was like, she's different. Why she's different? Why she's so happy? So I went to her and she introduced me The Way to Happiness. I started to read the book and this was like, oh my God. This is The Way to Happiness. It's a common sense guidebook for a better living. This is my custom cover. This has inside 21 precepts. Do not harm a person of goodwill, safeguard and improve your environment, be competent, and the 21 precept is flourish and prosper. So The Way to Happiness started to change my viewpoint about a lot of things. I started to realize how the only reason to have power is to help others. I met a person, he was the director of a magazine, Gente Rosa, and we became friends. So I proposed him, inside the magazine, we should pass out the booklets of The Way to Happiness. And he told me, you know what? Let's do it. So he passed out the booklets inside the magazines. I went to him to tell him, hey, I need a couple of magazines. And he told me, Maria, I don't have any more. We're sold out. Everybody wants the magazine. So in every interview, I take the way to happiness, the booklets, and the video.
Quiero que vean algo antes de que María siga hablando.
Dale.
Ahí está mi hermana.
Lo siento.
This was the first TV channel where I presented the public service announcement. It's one of the 2 major TV channels in Colombia. The hosts got so emotional that they had even tears in their eyes.
Motivados a hablar de...
So the fans start to tell me, you are the lady of the happiness thing. You are the lady about the happy. So I start to be the face of the way to happiness. This was amazing because I was in Bogota, right? And the person I work with called me and he told me, Maria, can you come to give a seminar? I said, of course. What do I have to do? And he told me, it's a seminar for the Latin kings. And I said, they're a musical band, right? I start to Google it. Latin kings. The most dangerous gang members in Latin America, responsible of the 40% of the killings in the country. That was shocking. And he told me he wanted to create a change in those kids. So I said, you know what? Let's do it.
An exclusive documentary series taking you behind the scenes of the world of Scientology. And discover what powered Scientology's global movement. Don't miss Inside Scientology on Scientology Network. It's easy to watch Scientology Network, even when you're away from your TV and on the go. Just download the app on your tablet or smartphone, and you can start watching anything you'd like, whenever and wherever you want. Or log on to Scientology.tv and watch your favorite shows right online. Scientology Network is available on all major platforms. Download now.
That was my first experience with gang members. They were into a program to rehabilitate those gang members. In the beginning, it was very hard. When I was going there, I didn't know what to do. I was talking about do not steal. So I thought I wouldn't say any strong thing or, punish them, because this is what they have been doing for many years.
Porque como uno no se arrepiente de lo que hace, sino de lo que no hace, entonces aprovechemos.
So the video of the way to happiness start. In the video, a police catch a guy stealing. In that exact moment, a guy from the back screamed, "Oh, what bad luck!" I get so mad that I forget about security.
No existe una persona viva sobre esta tierra que no pueda empezar.
The person with who I work in that moment said, "Oh my God, what is she doing?" You know what they did? They just approved that what I was saying was the truth. After the seminar, they tell me we want to change.
Para nosotros yo creo que esto es una disciplina a largo plazo, o sea, nos va a guiar mucho. Si nosotros toquemos, nos guardamos en el bolsillo, nos sentamos en un carro, nos botamos a un lado, de seguro no nos va a servir.
And then you understand that those are the kids that were born in those places with no food, with a dad in drugs, or with a mom alcoholic. So they grow up. What do you expect from them? So I said, I need to reach these kids. I need to put a seed to change their viewpoint.
¿Todos acá? Ok. Y si a uno le dicen el camino a la felicidad, es por donde uno se mete para llegar para dónde.
So we start to do it, and they start to bring us 200 kids, 300 kids.
Okay.
Until one point that I was delivering 3 and 4 seminars per day to 300 kids each seminar.
Vamos a ver este librito. Página 7.
One of the biggest crime rates in a society happen in the companies. You wouldn't think that because if you see this, it's very beautiful, it's aesthetic, and you would think every people go to the university, so they are very, very well educated. But at the end, it's lack of moral values. It's the Achilles heel of a society. What happened inside the companies? Bravery, corruption, crime, they steal so many things. Because if a person doesn't have moral values, how this person will do his job? So I start to go to companies to see what is happening in that company, how can I help them, and using the way to happiness, resolve the problem. What I give to the companies is an ethics program to launch their own core values. But their core values are related with the way to happiness in the practical life, in the daily life, right? So you start to tell them, if you pay me for 8 apples and I give you 7, what I'm doing? You are stealing me. Good. If I pay you for 8 hours and you spend 2 hours on internet, what are you doing? Stealing. Good. Now we are talking the same language. And here we are in the Hotel Bogota Plaza, one of the best hotels in Bogota. I deliver here the seminar for groups, all the staff members. ¿Cómo va ese camino a la felicidad?
Excelente.
¿Ha aplicado el camino a la felicidad?
Excelente. He sabido, es un curso que nos ha llevado a nosotros a crecer espiritualmente.
¡Ay, hermoso!
La experiencia de trabajar con María Lara fue espectacular, pero es la manera como ella los enseña que hace que la gente se ponga a pensar, oiga, de verdad hay que aplicar esto, porque ella tiene un swing para decir las cosas, ¿verdad? Entonces eso le da un poquitico de sabor a sus seminarios, que queda muy impregnado y que deja un recuerdo y deja una huella en la gente.
Y encontré dentro de ellos que no solo es el valor de leer algo por leerlo, ¿sí? Ni de conocer ciertos principios por conocerlos, sino de llevarlos a aplicar, ¿sí? Y de cuando los aplicas día a día, funcionan y empiezas a ver un cambio significativo no solo en ti, sino en las demás personas que influencias.
El trabajo que se realiza es muy bonito porque llegamos a muchas personas, a lugares en donde nadie los visita y nadie les dice nada, y es una gran experiencia para formar a las personas. Eso me encanta.
It's created a huge change, so I start to do with more companies. Companies of oil, companies of food, banks of the government. Handling basically lack of moral values and corruption. I was giving a lot of seminars, and these became bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly, there was a group of police that wanted to deliver the Way to Happiness booklets to pass out to the community. The first thing we do was to deliver the Way to Happiness seminar to those policemen, so they know how this book will help to change their lives for the people that they are delivering it, right?
No se trata de ser santo, se trata de ser práctico.
In the middle of the seminar, the boss of all the police stand up and said, "Stop, Maria. I want to say something here." This guy started to cry and started to say to 150 policemen, "Please forgive me because I treat you so bad. But these things I didn't knew. And I promise I won't do this again." The crowd went crazy. So they start to deliver the Way to Happiness on the streets. It helped so much for the police delivering the Way to Happiness to the community. They were telling us we are creating a relationship with the people. Not just we are saying them, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. No. Now we are helping them. So they start to see the police as friends, and it was a huge change. At that point, there was a huge scandal in Colombia because they find out in Buenaventura they were trafficking with drugs, gang members, criminality, and they found something that is called chop houses. They were chopping people.
Rival drug gangs fight for control in a grisly war of terror, sometimes decapitating victims or dismembering them alive.
You know, I have been thinking so much about what has been my biggest barrier to do this job, like going to gang members or confront these dangerous places or whatever. And I have come to the conclusion that, honestly, the biggest thing to handle at the end is myself. I have a survival instinct. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be in those places where they are killing people. But when I see these situations, I know I have a solution. That is the Way to Happiness. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes it's not the nicest thing to do, but it's the thing you have to do. So I went to the area and I delivered the Way to Happiness to 300 military guys, Navy, Army, police. And after that, we delivered in the community almost like 200,000 booklets, more or less. 8 months later, on the same TV news, they said that in Buenaventura crime dropped 70%. Because of that, I was called to deliver the Way to Happiness, this ethics seminar, to the big heads of the military forces in my country, and I was here, younger than them, actress, and I was giving them lessons of ethics. Their faces were like, "What are you teaching me?" You know? And I started to deliver the seminar. I started to participate in the seminar. I started to raise their hand. Some of them started to cry. They love the Way to Happiness. Everybody needs it, you know? Everybody wants to be happy. I had the opportunity to reach Air Force, Navy, Army, all branches of military guys. After working with the Minister of Defense 2 years, I received a letter from him saying that International Transparency awarded the Ministry of Defense as the second more ethical institution within 280 institutions in the country. And then the Ministry of Defense sent us a letter acknowledging the Way to Happiness Foundation and me for helping the institution to achieve this recognition. We recover our country. Now we can tell you our country is our country. We own our country.
María Lara es un ser excepcional. Logró aglutinar a personas de muchas edades alrededor siempre de un mensaje, todo gracias a su carisma, a su capacidad, a sus valores.
Algún muchacho estaba pensando en retirarse inclusive de la Armada y a raíz de la conferencia él manifestó que ya había cambiado de parecer. Otro había escrito que gracias a la charla lo motivaba a mejorar las relaciones con su familia, y los comentarios de retroalimentación que recibí en su momento pues fueron muy buenos.
Sabe cómo llegarle a la gente, que anima a la gente, que transforma de una manera increíble el pensamiento de las personas, y es una persona pues que indudablemente tiene unas condiciones humanas muy grandes.
So I started to travel to all these countries, Dominican Republic, to Ecuador,